I cannot stress the urgency of like now, no opportunity wasted, like now going all in, giving it your all now. You know what I'm saying? Because the world needs what you have to offer.
What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book, every single chapter, every single day? We're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all of this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning. Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, where we find dope people that did dope stuff, man. But this is a very special episode because Jeremy was on before and we really got into a story. And then he was on again, but we lost one of the angles. So I had to call Jeremy back like, yo, bruh, the episode was so crazy. And when I tell you, since our last conversation, I booked a contract with a school.
Come on,
Quick little 79.
Come on with the 79.
Half day 79 joint.
Come on, man.
Just little.
That's different, bro.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. We didn't talk about it, but it just clicked. And I can show you the text message. They just sent over like the W9 that we had to fill out and send my license and all that kind of stuff. Come on, man.
79.
Yeah.
That is refreshing.
You're not about to be the only one getting this speaker money, Jerry. All right, so look, I got to introduce my brother. Man, this is my brother, man. This ain't just like a guest that is coming on to do something. I've been able to really watch his growth. One, he was killing it when I met you. But then to go to a whole nother level and expand your territory, man. Mr. Jeremy Anderson, international speaker. If you go to YouTube right now, and you just type, some people are like, yo, Google me. You only got to Google me. Go to YouTube right now and just type in high school speaker. Mad if his videos pop up. You don't even put in his name.
We should test it before we tell all the people.
Somebody test it, Jeremy. Joe, go to YouTube and just type in high school speaker or motivational school speaker or anything like that. You're going to see Jeremy's face, and in this interview, we're going to find out how you did that.
I'm going to give you all the game as much as I can before I got to pick up D from the airport.
Okay, I'll put yourself with my brother Dewan. He's coming to Atlanta. So, I guess, first one, bro, he's a monster, bro. He's a monster. Ain't nobody up there when you, so we going to
I just want social proof. Because I didn't want people to believe like, I can't find him nowhere.
Right.
So I'm still up there. Praise God.
Oh, we about to find out how you did that. Yeah. So, I like to know. So I guess, how do you introduce yourself to people?
So husband, father, son, brother, every day around the way guy, you know what I'm saying? Man of God. And I'm a servant to the people. So even when I take the stage and they write really nice checks, I'm still at service to them. You know what I'm saying? And so that really what keeps me grounded. So just a servant to the people, man. I want to live every single day and speak of life. I read one time in this book, it said that life and death is the power of the tongue. So I'm gifted to speak life. Sure. And that's who I am, and that's what I do. And I've been doing it for several years, and now I get paid a good bit of money to do it. I was willing to do it for free. That's the sweet part. Like, people got to know that. I can't tell you how many group homes, homeless shelters, detention centers I've spoken in just to make an impact. But when them checks start coming in, that thing hit differently. So I've been the published author. I've written a bunch of books and I own several different companies now. Like, that money start coming in. It's like, I could have it sit here, but let me diversify. So we own a trucking company. We just launched our Speakers Academy. We got a clothing line. We got a nonprofit in South Africa. It's a lot of different things, that we're doing.
You ain't just launched the Speaker, because you opened up my whole Social Proof conference in 2020 virtually.
Yeah.
And
that was good.
You just launched it then. And then from there, because I personally have, some of my clients, people that follow me that was at the conference, that have gone on to make a bunch of money from your...
Right.
I'm like, yo, he launched the academy and, you're teaching people At first, I didn't know if you were going to be teaching them how to speak, but I realized that you're teaching them how to, not only the art of speaking, but how to get the bag from it.
Yes, absolutely.
But before all of that, who, like, because I know you was kicking doors and selling.
Yeah, I was moving work. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy,
yeah, selling weed, man. Dropped out of school, flunking a lot. Went to 3 different schools for the 9th grade. Finally graduated and hit the reset button. But man, years of drug and alcohol abuse, selling weed by the pound. Like, I was just out here trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my biological father was never present in my life. And though you know what I'm saying, I knew better. I just still was just on some dumb stuff and just trying to figure it out and didn't really have that purpose within. And then when I was able to hit that reset button, I began to work on my character and I became like a new person, the same me, but like with different motives, you know what I'm saying? Like different gasoline, different things that fuel me. You know what I'm saying? My heart changed and my mind changed. And when my mind changed, my life changed. And so now when I get to travel and speak and I get to share with people how I hit their reset button, it makes that connection with them. Like most people want to keep their challenges, their issues, their struggles, their insecurities, those things that they're struggling with, they want to keep it to themselves. But I'm like, nah, when you share that, that's your secret power. That's where you get that juice from. Like that's how you're going to set other people free. And so for years, for the longest, I was just sharing my story, you know what I'm saying, in group homes and churches and detention centers, just making an impact. And I realized like, man, I got something here. And after doing it for about 2 years, I decided to quit my job and go all in. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, that's who I am. I have a very rough background. I made a bunch of mistakes, but I got to a point where I said, man, I want more. So when I speak now, I connect with people who feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they're not smart enough. They feel like they're not talented enough. But all they got to do is believe. If they believe in that power that's within, if they believe that they're not an accident, if they believe that they are fearfully, wonderfully made, if they believe that they can have more, like, bro, I'm human just like they human. When people come to the crib, you've been to the crib, they walk in like, I'm like, I'm human just like you. When I wake up in the morning, my breath stink just like your breath stink. I hate it when I watch movies and people be like tongue kissing first thing in the morning. I'm like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know your breath funky, but it's movies, whatever. But like, we all human. I'm sure you got some things you're still working on with your character. Me as well, I got my own insecurities, but every single day I wake up and I go get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm locked in. And so that's how I'm wired now. I realize the most successful people in the world aren't the most gifted, talented, or the smartest, but they are those who are the most disciplined. So I'm disciplined in everything I do. I'm not who I used to be anymore. I literally went from that wild, rough lifestyle, smoking a pack of Newports a day, 2-3 blunts a day, waking up to a bottle of Henny. I don't do that no more now. And when I hit the reset button, I began to like move forward and I became different. And now I show other people not only how to do that and how to hit the reset button, but how to have their story and share their story and then eventually monetize their story.
How did you start this this transition? Because here's pressure. Pressure is I'm this guy that's, I'm pushing this work. You're doing all kind of crazy stuff. And then I'm guessing there was like kind of like a spiritual awakening.
Yep,
right?
Absolutely.
And you changed.
I had to lose everything.
But the pressure is the day after you change because people still remember this other person.
Yeah.
So like walk me through that transition.
Yeah. So it was hard for me when I hit the reset button. Like I knew I was made new. I just got baptized. I'm like, all right, I'm a different person now. But I still had some people like, oh, come on. Yeah, right. You got jammed up. You just, have it to everybody. You'll be right back. And then when I'm applying, I'm looking for jobs.
Did you get locked up?
Yeah.
So you got locked up and then you changed.
Yeah.
But then people like, it's just because you went to jail.
Right. But then I got jammed up. Like my Dope Connect got caught up and then by the feds, I still owed them money. And these ain't the type of people you could be like, bro, I got you. They like the type of people like, bro, I need you to come through. You know what I'm saying? Then we was running 2 nightclubs, throwing parties, promoting parties like on the regular. And then that got jammed up. You know what I'm saying? And so I found myself like, I ain't got nothing. So now I'm on some desperate stuff like, man, I need to run up on somebody. I'm ashamed to say it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I was in that place like, I got to get it. You know what I'm saying? And so everything was silenced. Everything shut down and I ain't have nothing going for me. And I remember one day I was frustrated, bro. I was pissed. I was home because I'm like, man, I'm trying to do right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that stuff. I'm keeping my temple clean. And I remember, and I was applying for a job after. I made it a full-time job to look for a full-time job. I couldn't find nothing, bro. And I was so angry at God. I felt like, you playing me. Like my prayers ain't leaving the ceiling. And my mama hit me. And she's like, hey, son. She was all happy. I was like, let me hit you back. She's like, no, what's wrong? And I kind of like broke down. It was like an angry cry. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so frustrated. I was dealing with a lot of rage at the time of my life. But I'm like, I'm trying to be different now, but ain't nothing working for me. She was like, Negro, lift up your head. She was like, lift up your head. You gonna bounce back. You gonna be good. She told me delayed is not denied. You know what I'm saying? You're just being tested. It's like gold is being purified in the fire. Like, can you hang in here? Can you be strong enough, long enough till you get that breakthrough? And I stayed there, man. And eventually, after a few months, going through the struggle, ended up with a dope job, ended up getting married, and
A
got to
good
the
job,
other
not
side.
dope. It wasn't you on the push no more.
Yeah, right. A good job, right? I hit the reset button. Yeah, don't get it confused, right? I was legit, and I was doing good, man, making good money. My wife was working for a government. We got married, built our first house, like everything was sweet. And then I had this crazy experience at this school, man, and I knew I had to quit my job.
What was the experience?
And I went to this school. This lady in my church was like, Jeremy, you spoke and it was awesome. Can you come to my school and speak? She was a counselor. I was like, sure. So I go to her school and I share my story. And when I'm done, this little girl come up to me. She couldn't be but maybe 12, 13. She's like in 8th grade in tears, bro. Like the whole school like left the assembly and she's sitting there in tears. And so she come give me this big hug and the principal was like, I'm gonna give y'all a minute because he could tell she was struggling. So I finally got her to calm down. I was like, what's up? She was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. You just saved my life. Now I'm thinking like, my story ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's dope, but it's like, come on now. She's like, no, you just saved my life. She said, I came to school and I planned on committing suicide. She was like, I'm dealing with some stuff. It was either like her best friend or her sister had just died or committed suicide. And she was like, I can't live without them, like what I'm dealing with at home. So I came to school with a plan, slipped out the back door. They caught me, made me come to the stupid assemblies, but I'm so glad I did. Because now I know that weapons were foreign, but they're not gonna prosper because I'm gonna be more than a conqueror. I'm thinking like, whoa. She's like, I'm so excited that you came today. I know my condition won't be my conclusion. I'm like, ooh, like all the stuff I'm giving her. She's like, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm gonna make you proud, Mr. Jeremy. But my allergies start kicking in. I'm like, appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking like, yo, this next level. And she runs off the class, like with tears in her eyes, red hair, freckles. I'll never forget her face. And I went home and I told my girl, I said, hey, boo, like I gotta hit the reset button. She's like, what you mean? I was like, I had to make her breakfast that morning. I had to get her in the spirit. I remember the oatmeal. Steel cut oatmeal with the little craisins and almonds. I made her 2 egg whites, you know what I'm saying? And had her little orange juice. And we talking, she eating her breakfast. She's like, thanks, babe. I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'm nervous. Because you know what I'm saying? My wife is all about security. Like the 5 love languages, like, all of that, like at random acts of kindness and all of that is cool. But security is another one. I'm like, hey, boo, I think I need to quit my job and be a full-time speaker. And she was like, she wasn't feeling it, I could tell.
One day?
Huh?
Like you spoke one day in
No.
school.
I was already speaking.
Right.
I was already speaking here and there.
Gotcha.
But after that experience,
right.
when that little girl was like, you saved my life, that did something to my brain. Because I was volunteering. They didn't even pay me to speak at the school. But when I realized, like, yo, it's more people out here to save, I was willing to walk away from all the guarantee. I was getting a nice salary, healthcare benefits, and Jewel had just been born. So we got a newborn at the crib. Matter of fact, Tracy didn't even go back to work. She was still on maternity leave. And she's like, and you talking about quitting your job? So I was like, yeah. I got nervous. So I said, God said do it.
Like, no God in there.
Right? No God in there, right? And so she was like, well, what he say about me? I was like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to keep working. And my wife, bro, she's savage. She was like, nope, you ain't gonna get to travel the world and save all these people. And I gotta stay behind and work and raise our daughter. She's like, he gonna have to take care of both of us. I'm thinking like, did you pray about that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you get that in the text
right,
message.
because her salary would have covered the car note, you know what I'm saying, for both cars, the house, the mortgage, everything. She's like, no, we all in. And we literally never went back to work from there and we went all in.
Really?
Yeah, bro. People thought I was crazy. We had a nice little savings, so I don't want somebody to hear this and be like, I'm about to quit my job too. Like we was living below our means. Like we believe in that.
I thought you.
No.
Thought you was.
Don't get me wrong. We was crazy because I wasn't popping like that. You know what I'm saying? But when that girl told me like, yo, you saved my life, I got to a point where I realized like I want to be as desperate as she is. She was desperate to end the pain. I need to be desperate to relieve the pain. And that's what most people fail to realize. So all my pain, all my sufferings, all my issues, all my challenges, all the mistakes I made, like if I share that with people and say, hey, but you can come on the other side, that gives them hope. So people are like, yo, Jeremy, you're such a powerful speaker. I'm only powerful because I'm vulnerable, because I'm open, because I'm transparent, because I'm not letting y'all know I'm super nice. I'm letting y'all know like, yo, I struggled, but I bounced back, and this is how I bounced back. So that's what blew me up, bro, by giving the game, by being a blessing to people. So I did that. We quit our jobs, and for about 2 years, it was rough, but we're on the other side now. For 2 years, it was rough, and then we were comfortable, and it's like, and after that, you got abundance. You know what I'm saying? It's like exceedingly and abundantly, like we on the other side now.
Can I ask how much you had saved at that point? When it was comfortable for you to leave?
Yeah, maybe about 6 months worth.
About 6 months living
Maybe about
expenses?
6 months living expenses. I don't remember exactly what that number was, but my wife she nice with the numbers and finances. But I think we had about 5-6 months where I knew we'd be good.
That's a good target. That's a good goal.
And you know what I'm saying? And I was already having a few gigs come in. Some of them were like, $1,500, $1,000, like that. I didn't hit quite the 2,000 mark yet, but I knew if I give this my all, if I make this my main focus, like everything gonna change.
How long did it take for you to get your first paid speaking gig? From the day you had this awakening, I don't know, what was your first time speaking? What was your first time speaking?
So the first time speaking, I was in a group home, like for this community in Huntsville. They called it Butler Terrace.
Okay.
You was in college, so you was in a part of town that had a little money, you know what I'm saying? But Butler Terrace was like the hood. And I was standing in front of like maybe 20 chairs, 8 people was there, but 5 of them was somebody's kid.
20 chairs, 8 people.
In this dusty like community center room, yep. And I poured my heart out. And then from there, every single speaking opportunity is always opened up another door to another one. That might have been free or it might have been paid. But I would probably say from once I first started speaking at that moment, I would probably say that my third speaking engagement, they had a small budget of like, I don't know, maybe $500 or $1,000. And it shocked me. And so for that first 2 years, half of my engagements were free, but the other half were paid. No, it was like $500 to $1,000. I think the most was like $1,500. But when I quit my job and went all in, my price instantly changed. Yeah. But people don't realize that. Like when you put it out there and you let them know this is what I do, like all the opportunities will start coming your way.
For sure. Was that first speaking with the AP, was it trash or did you go crazy?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I went crazy.
It was lit?
Yeah, I was crazy. Only because it was raw. Right. And I was really pouring my heart out. It was like 3 young sisters there. And I was just like, yo, you got to make sure you cover your babies. I know you live in this community now, but you ain't got to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the sacrifices you make, they'll be the benefit from it later. So I remember the message I was going in, was sharing my story and was letting them know that my mama was 16 years old when she had me. You know what I'm saying? And my mama gave birth to me. And now look at where we are as a family now.
Pretty much telling your story.
But I made it personal for them.
You remember the second one? Second gig?
It was a church.
I want to put people in the mind frame because right now you're doing crazy numbers and speaking, but there's somebody who hasn't even had their first gig or they're in that position where I remember this wasn't my first, but I do remember my first speaking gig. Didn't make no money. And I didn't, believe it or not, I didn't even think you could make money from speaking.
Right.
I didn't even know that.
Now I knew it was possible because of the OG ET.
Right.
I first met ET when I was like 12.
So ET is rocking at this point.
Yeah. And he was like a, I wouldn't say a local legend because people knew him, but now massive.
Yeah, for sure.
But 11 years ago when I first started, like I knew that I could have did it as a career, but that wasn't my goal. I was happy working for Wildtech, making a good living, provide for my family, giving 20% to the local church. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I was.
You was tithing 20%.
I was tithing 20%, bro. For me, I just felt like the average person that wasn't doing the stuff I was doing, you give 10%. But I'm like, the fact that you even let me in here, like my offering to you. You feel me? Like when we first closed on our first house, we built our first house, that thing was like 1,600 square feet, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? We got to pick out the hardwoods and the granite. Like when that first happened, I was like, man, I am so blessed. I could be dead. I done had a Uzi put to my head on Sparkman Drive at that little Circle K. Right there up the street from Oakwood, a Uzi put to my head.
That's crazy.
Yep, Uzi put to my head. And my man had already had 2 notches under his belt. I would have been the third one. Just dumb, bro. Just doing stupid, dumb stuff. And so I'm thinking of all of that. So I was quick to give. I ain't never met nobody, too, that because of them investing in themselves or because of their philanthropy or giving, that they are here like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I gave all my money away. Everybody I know that gives a lot is also blessed a lot.
That's real.
I ain't never met.
I'm trying to think of somebody that really invests a lot in themselves and they struggling.
I don't. And a lot of my guys
unless
is
they're
doing
just course buyers where you just buy it and you don't do nothing with the course. But
right. But even if you buy 5 different courses, like eventually 1 or 2 gonna hit.
You get tired of
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I've never like whenever somebody's like I need something, I give. But half the time I'm curious like, so what's going on? And I ain't never had them say, well, this person was short on rent and this person was in the hospital and I had to take care of this person. So now I'm struggling. I ain't never come across nobody. So for me, it was easy to give back because I realized how blessed I was.
Wow.
And so, yep.
Okay. All right. So you quit your job and you're like, I'm all in. From that day, what do we do? Because I'm imagining you don't have necessarily a business structure like that.
Nope. Website, domains, and mentorship. That's where people go wrong. Folks think they can just figure it out on their own.
Real quick, I'm sorry, pinning that. In your course, do you teach people like everything set up, speaking, making money, stuff like that?
From everything.
All right, just get it out the way. How much is your course?
$2,000, $19.97. And my team now, you know what they telling me? And this ain't no cap. They telling me it needs to be $5,000. Because they're like, Jeremy, you got people that sign up for your course. You're adding all this value. You're on these calls on the Sundays with them. You're doing all this stuff, private Facebook group, all of that. And then they get one gig and it pays for itself. And I asked my team one day, the proof's in the pudding. I asked them, it was like maybe 80 people on Zoom. I said, yo, just be honest with me. My feelings not going to be hurt. You see what you get for this. How much would you have paid? Some folks was like $2,500, $3,000. Some was like $8,000, $5,000, $10,000. So my admin team on the back end was like, see, I told you. But I pride myself in under-promising and over-delivering. I pride myself in making people feel like, man, I robbed you, I should give you more. So when we had our conference here, you know, we do a conference twice a year. When we had our conference here, it was free to them.
And I spoke at it. It was crazy.
Oh, you killed it too. You killed it. And the chefs, like Chef Winston, Chef Beasley, who prepared meals for our family, prepared meals for our community. And they was just like, yo, Jay, we know the conference is free, but like, how much is the food?
On the conference, they get to come free.
If you members in our community, yeah.
Just by member. Is it like a monthly?
It's just that one-time fee, or you break the payments up.
Now I feel crazy for what I'm about to ask you.
What's that? Hold on.
Because I always ask, like, especially if you have something, because we got like a loyal group of like viewers. So is there any way, and I'll pay for it, we can do a scout. Is there a discount we can give to Social Proof Podcast?
So here's the thing, right? So you've heard this quote before, those who pay attention.
Yes.
And so the only reason why I'm leery of offering discounts is sometimes people can feel like it's watery, like maybe it might not be as valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the rest of this interview, we might make it valuable. But, I mean...
And I'm going to give away, I'm ready to give away some game.
Yeah.
So like to tell them what to do, because there are some people that might not get it. I want them to walk away from this and be like, I'm Gucci. Or they might say, I need more, but I'm good with the discount. It just, what you got in mind? You know what I'm saying?
What you think? $14.97?
If Tracy,
$14.97 is a good number. $16.97, you ain't feeling that? $16, $15, $14.97.
If Tracy was here, Tracy would be like, Dave, 10% off. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I could do $14.97.
Really?
I'll do $14.97. Yeah. We go back, bro. So, I mean, I'm Gucci with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll get back. We'll get back to that. All right, so we'll do. How do you typically do it? Like, so that it's ordered, so it ain't got no promo code or nothing like that.
So I'll probably have them do. So if they go to the regular website, nextlevelspeakersacademy.com, it's $2,000. So they'll see $19.97. But if we do like a / David Shands or social proof.
So nextlevelspeakersacademy.com.
Okay.
Social proof.
Okay. So, Danny, you got that? nextlevelspeakersacademy.com / social proof.
And it already before. All right.
Yeah. Well, by the time, now I got to tell the team.
You're welcome. Thanks right now. You're welcome. All right, cool. So, all right, bet. I just want to get that out of the way. We have like a resource for you.
Okay.
Now, you go into, you go to your wife, you say, yo, we about to leave our jobs. Mm-hmm. The first thing you do is say, okay, we got to make it a business now, right? Because, you got a talent, you got a skill, you got an ability. But if there's no structure behind it, then you just got a talent.
We set up the sole proprietorship.
So sole proprietorship.
Then we went to LLC.
Okay.
I bought out the website, jeremyanderson.org, because jeremyanderson.com was taken. And I wanted to, have my name there.
Did you have any other business? Did you have any other
Nope.
business just for speaking?
Nope.
Because when I speak right now, if someone gives me a check, they just give it to my David Shands LLC, which is my business. We might have to get somebody on taxes. I don't know. I'm sorry. That's not important.
I didn't have nothing at that time.
Okay.
So I was all green. So I've cracked the code and did I give you the course? No. I'll give you the course. I'll give you the whole course.
I want to run it up on my speaker.
I'll give you the whole course. Yeah. You already took some of the advice you got from the last time we did.
Yeah, yo.
7,900?
70, bro, I'll show you, bro.
I believe you. Trust me, I know the numbers.
Yesterday,
like this is what I be telling.
I want you to know like the stuff you're just talking about works, and I'll show it to you yesterday. So my man, what was my man's name?
And while you looking it up, I get that because the average fee of a school speaker, just like dealing with youth and youth programs and young people, is between $2,500 and $5,000. That's the average.
So you told me I think you told me to get like 3 different prices. I'm sorry, not 79. It was $74.97. So that's the $74.97. I gave them the 3 prices. They didn't take the 14, but they took the 74. And it's just a half-day workshop. And this was literally, like you could see yesterday, right? Hey, sir, quick question. I apologize to disturb. Do you have people that work for you that you issue a W-2 trying to set stuff up? Or are you a company of one? So I'm like, all right, but bro, this is zero cap. Based on what you told me last interview that got deleted.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Cool.
Hopefully I'll get that same game this one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you set up your LLC, then a website. And then what?
Then you need to figure out like what area and what field you're gonna go in. That's really what curved it for me. Me and E.T. had to have a very hard conversation. Because I was seeing the big homie do his thing. Yeah. And I'm like, man, he a pastor. You know what I'm saying? He doing corporate, he be in school. So shoot, I want to do all of that. Yeah. I was already speaking in churches and schools. So I had a corporate tab, I had a churches tab, and I had a school tab. And he hit me and was just like, bro, you looking like a handyman. I was like, but I'm nice with it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, but when you get to that top tier, you need to be an expert in that space. So he was like, you need to change and just choose one field. And I was like, but you're doing all of them? He was like, yeah, but when you go to my website, it's pushing one main thing. Yeah. He says, as the word said, your gifts will make room for you. So I was like, man. So I was like, I didn't want to do it, but I cut corporate. Because no corporate, matter of fact, shout out to Dewan, who I'm about to pick up. He got me my first corporate, not my first corporate gig, but my first one for $10,000. Yeah, that thing hit special. Had no clue that was small compared to what I would get in the educational space. I need to tell you about that too. But so anyway.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, okay, tell us about it. Right. So I hit the reset and I changed it. I took off corporate, but I still had churches and schools and I was struggling. So he was like, yo, he hit me and was like, yo, you gotta make a decision. I was like, man, I'm asking for a sign. My man texted me back and was like, signs are for the weak. I said, okay, now you being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the big homie. Come on, bro. He's like, bro, signs are for the weak. God has already really blessed both areas. Just what's your offering? So I had to ask myself, okay, what can I make the biggest impact in? As opposed to waiting for the weekend to speak and then leaving that church or conference and then their shepherd's still pastoring. If I go to schools, it's wide open. Kids out here cutting themselves. They depressed. Anxiety is high. They bullying. They fighting. They dropping out of school. They having sex as early as one school I went to 4th and 5th grade. Thinking like, how is that even, you know what I'm saying? Like they dealing with some heavy stuff. They cutting, suicidal thoughts. Like it's some heavy stuff. And so I realized I can bear way more fruit. I can reach way more people. I can connect and make a bigger impact in the educational space. And I still get to do corporate and organizations. I'm going to Miami in 2 weeks to speak for this big doctors and nurses event. And I got to dress up for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this bougie, like black tie event. So I'm going to fly into South Beach, me and my wife, and speak for this event. And then head right back. Actually, we'll probably stay there for a couple of days and kick. You know what I'm saying?
What's the commission?
I don't want to put that out.
You don't want to say it? Over 10?
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things to where you want it to be mutual. And I get to work with the people and build. And so I changed it and went all in with schools, and it's like overnight everything changed.
Yo, but I don't want y'all to think it's overnight because there's some behind the scenes conversations that we had. I remember the process.
Right.
When we was all on tour together.
Right. Yeah.
And CJ, it was CJ like, you gotta pick one. And then Jeremy called me, or I called Jeremy, we just talking. He's like, yo, bruh, they doing their thing, but they at a certain level. But I got it all on my website. I want people to be able to pick and choose. And he's like, yo, I ain't feeling it. It wasn't like, oh, ET said it.
I'm trying to eat everything that come my way.
I just want y'all to know. That's what happened. Yeah. And then eventually he was like, yo, I'm about to go all in.
Yeah. And when I made that decision, it's like the floodgates opened up because I didn't realize it was a bunch of people going to my website, but because they was confused, it's like, oh, he all over the place. Yeah, I'm gonna go to somebody else that seems like a specialist in this field.
So your first advice is, for my speakers out there, be a specialist in something.
First. Second, know that you can do this. That's the first thing. There are still some people that's listening and watching that probably feel like I'm not cut out for it. I don't know how to speak. Like they got to get over that first and realize that you have been called to share it. They say it's only a testimony if you testify. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to be willing to share it. So you are worthy, you are good enough, you do have what it takes. The question is, are you willing to be open and vulnerable? Then when you say, okay, I am ready to share it, you know what I'm saying? I am ready to get out here. That's when you can go and say, okay, now it's time for me to say, okay, now what area and field am I going in? Because people don't realize this, man. I feel like the enemy is afraid of people stepping out and sharing their stories and testifying and saying, hey, this is where I was, this is where I am now. If I can do it, you can do it too.
All right, look, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I got to tell you, finally, you asked for it, and we created a Patreon, okay? We created an inner circle. We have amazing stories, amazing information, how-tos from the episodes. The only thing we're missing is a community. So it's about that time. We put together our Patreon, we put together a community because we have to have conversation around the information. So even this podcast we're listening to right now, there needs to be conversation. I want to hear what you got. I want to hear what you got. Like, let's throw some stuff back and forth. And because we're like-minded, we're all going in the same direction. When we connect in a community, we can connect on other stuff outside the community because we're building real relationships. Okay, so check out the Patreon. We got 3 tiers. I don't care what tier you join. The support is appreciated. Okay, thank you so much. Now back to the episode.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling people like, yo, you got to be willing to step out here and realize it's not even about you. Mm-hmm. People say, man, Jeremy, you're able to speak so boldly. Like, don't you care about what people say? Like, nah, because it's not about me. Yeah. I don't care what people say about me. Like, I want people to win. I want people to be vibrant and be happy, to be encouraged. I want them to bounce back. And so for me, it's easy. But then once you get over that, then it's like, yes, choose a lane or choose a field. And if you're not sure, date around before you marry it. I tell people to date around. I got some people I'm coaching now, they getting some checks here, they getting some checks there in different industries. I'm like, that's cool. But give it 6 months to a year to where you can see and feel like, okay, I'm getting more here, I'm getting more demand here, my story more aligns here. But there are some people that know you ain't got no business doing corporate. Mm-hmm. You ain't even got a corporate background. Yeah. You hadn't even hit 60 grand a year. Now I can show you how to do 60 grand, you know what I'm saying, in a few months. You know what I'm saying? But like you hadn't even did that. Yeah. So maybe that's not your field. Maybe it is inner city youth. Maybe it is women because you've been molested or you've been hurt or you've been abused and your heart been broken. Like maybe it is, you know what I'm saying, schools. Maybe it is colleges. Like, but don't go into a field you ain't got no business in. But for the people that's like, man, I could do this and I could do that and I could be credible in both, then date around. And then put a ring on it.
I feel like you're talking to me, man, because I have, golly. Because I remember I want to do schools, right? Uh-huh. Because I am truly gifted in being able to connect with the youth and being able to explain certain things in a very simplistic way, right? Sure. So I feel like I'm gifted in that way. But I also do corporate gigs because now I don't teach people, companies how to scale their business from 5 million to 10 million, but I understand how to create a culture. And I teach on communication. So I have a contract with a company out in California. Shouts out to my man Ray, where I'm just teaching the culture. How do we create a better environment here? Right. That I know how to do. But then it was at one point I wanted to focus strictly on conferences for entrepreneurship because that is my lane. So maybe that's why I don't push speaking gigs like that, but I'm confused, even right now.
You would kill if you did. Like, if you was like, yo, Jay, I'm going to do a few conferences and I still got all these different things going, but I'm about to really take my speaking career serious. I mean, like, you would get so many more opportunities that would naturally come your way. Like, that's just how the world works. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you put yourself out there and you make a commitment to something, like, that destiny is committed back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got somebody that just signed up for our community a few days ago, and I ain't saying it's going to be for everybody. But my man was just like, yo, before I was even able to get through all the modules, I just got a speaking engagement for $5,000. And he's just like, I just feel like it's because I took myself serious. I tell people all the time, if you take you serious, like the world will take you serious. How can you expect others to cut a check and you invest in you if you're not willing to invest in yourself? You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling people like, yo, you got to be willing to go all in. So for you, if you chose and said, I want to do this, I want to do that, cool. But you different. You like a unicorn, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I haven't met nobody that can teach as casually as you and make it so crystal clear and so plain. So I can see you stand before the people and do one school and teach them entrepreneurship, then go to a conference and teach entrepreneurship, but then also go to a company and talk about systems and culture. I can see that because all of that runs in a sense together.
But how do I structure... So what do I put on my website? Because I would have to have a front-facing, this is what I'm about.
Yeah, and that's what you would have to narrow down. Yeah. So for me, I get all these different invitations, and then some stuff, like so when I'm doing this thing with nurses and doctors, that's not even my field. But because they've seen me speak other places and I get recommended and then they want to be connected, they like, yo, we know if you can connect with the hearts of these teachers and administrators and students, we know you can connect with the hearts of these doctors and nurses who were tired after COVID. They want to have like this big celebration bash. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're still in the pandemic, they like, man, we need somebody that can breathe life to encourage them, make them feel good, love on them, and give them the strength to finish this thing.
But you're not going to put...
But you don't see any of that on my website. Right. You're not going to see that. When you go to my website, because I'll probably say 80% of my speaking engagements are in the educational space. Yeah. Now, if you look at all of the speaking engagements under my educational space, 40% are teachers and 60% are students. Yeah. But when you look at the totality of all the invitations I get, 80% are in that educational space. And then the other 20% are corporations, organizations, churches, etc.
Dang, I like that. Okay, all right, so we pick our niche. First off, how do we know if we dope or not? I done had so many people like, yo, I'm a gifted speaker, I'm nice, and you're trash. You sound like everybody else.
Well, that's where coaching comes in. I've got some people now that sign up because they like, well, I need to be connected. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to hear from you on a regular basis. Like, I need that. I need the accountability. I need the game, but I'm a little nervous. And it's like, yo, you need that coaching to kind of shake that nervousness. But sometimes you got to just sign up and go all in. And there's an art to it. It's an art to being able to putting out your story and knowing what parts of your story to share, what parts to omit, like figuring out what your target audience is. Like, we break all that down. Then we have another thing where me and my wife are both on camera teaching how to set up the business, the LLC, the taxes, like all of that, how to get the tax breaks and everything so that you win.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like some people might not be gifted and talented, but they might have the heart. That's all you need. You know what it is, bro. Average skill, as E.T. taught us years ago, average skill, phenomenal will. Yeah. So there are some people that's not really gifted and talented in the areas of speaking, but they got a powerful story or they have a heart for people. Because I got some people that signed up for our program now I'm coaching our community. They don't even have a painful story, but they got a heart for people. Yeah. And I'm like, all I need is a heart that beats. Yeah. That beats love, that beats hope, that beats optimistic. All I need is a heart that says, you know what, you're struggling and I want to help you. Let me connect with you. I can do the rest from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Scenario, you are dropped off in a city. Let's say you get dropped off in, I don't know, Chicago, Illinois, or you move to Chicago and you want to start getting speaking gigs. What are you looking for?
First, you need to ask yourself, all right, so we've identified, we got the heart for it, we have a story we want to share, correct, and we know what field we're going in. Correct. We go into schools. One thing I teach my people, I'm going to give some game now. Can I give some game? Yes, sir, is I tell them to set up a list. If you're here, then you look in the 15-minute surrounding area, north, south, east, west, make a list of all the schools. And when you write down each school, David Shen's elementary school, you write down the principal's name and email, all of this stuff is online. And then every school has assistant principals and counselors. I don't even have the data. Some counselors book me, some assistant principals book me, some principals book me, some superintendents book me, right? You write down all their names and emails. You have a blanket email, right? And that's something else you get in our community. We give you all the games, so we write those emails for you.
Really?
Because sometimes you can put together some stupid stuff, and then they're like, oh, amateur, I'm going to keep moving.
Can you send me one?
I will for this you. I can't tell them on here.
Right, for sure. You know I'm saying? Can you send it to my email?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I want to just...
Remind me, because I'll forget.
Yeah,
I will cap and be like,
it and like send it to us. Because I really... Are my two things at schools and... Okay, go ahead.
So you send that set email out, and then you send it to all of them, and then you follow up with a second email. And then you, with the response, you put the RE with the little colon, and then you send it out a second time. Because principals, they be busy. But the reason why some people... You know how I used to... Colon? Yeah. You know how it is, like if I send you an email and you respond, it don't just have the title of the subject, it has the RE. It shows that you're responding to me.
Right.
So when you send out an email, even if it's a fresh email and you put the RE with the colon, it makes them feel like, oh, they're responding to me. And they're more inclined to open it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what I have. That's just one of the many gems that I give our people. And that's how you get a much higher open rate on those emails. And then they open it, and then you have that template. You got the information there. It's short and quick and to the point, enough to pique their interest to boom, want to visit the website. So that's what I have them do. And I tell people all the time, like when they come to speaking, you got to be a high D. So everybody that signs up with our community automatically gets a DISC assessment. I want them to understand their strengths, their weaknesses, what they got to tweak. So I'm like, don't just email David Shen's elementary school, the principal. He might miss it. They got 2-3 assistant principals, and they got a couple of guidance counselors. Go ahead and email all of them. I've timed it, bro. It takes, if you copying and pasting it, it takes maybe 2 minutes to email 4 or 5 people. You know what I'm saying? And just do that in a 15 minutes surrounding area. 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes here. Like look at the little map and write down all those schools. It might take you a couple of days, but when you get that bag, that could be a quick 2,500, $5,000 or more when you speak for 30, 40, 50 minutes. Now I got people doing numbers during the pandemic.
Yo, what's in the email? Is it a call to action? Are you just asking for a...
It's two things. Because now you get into it, right? I know. I get it. You slick with it. You're sneaky. So you got to start with, hey, introduce myself. You know what I'm saying? If you have boom, 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 this is what I can do for you. I just wanted to let you know what I'm saying? I'm a motivational speaker. I'm in the local area.
A budget?
No, if you have some issues. Yeah, if you have issues. Yep. Hey, this is Jeremy Anderson. I want you to know I'm a youth motivational speaker. I'm actually 15 minutes from your school. I get to work with schools all over the country. Boom, 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 boom. If you all are struggling in these areas, I would love to come in and be of service to your school. Check out the link to my website. Let's set up a call. That's in a nutshell, because you don't want to come off as salesy. You want to come off as, I know you have this problem. I can be the solution to your problem. And I'm actually locally, and you know this is here, I get to work with schools all over the country. I'm actually right around the corner from you. So now they're thinking, man, I ain't got to pay for no flight. I ain't got to pay for no hotel. They're intrigued. They are going to click that website, hands down, unless they just don't care about their kids.
Right.
Like, for real. Like, it ain't nothing to click it. And then don't let you have a pixel on that website. Oh, I'm giving game now. You better put a pixel. Like, so the pixel is, okay, if you click my website, have you ever gone to, like, look at some shoes or something from your wife from Victoria's Secrets, and now you're seeing those ads everywhere? It's because they got pixels. So now they know that you're interested. And so now whenever you do drop it, you might just gather this stuff until you have a marketing team. And you look up a year later and you're ready to run ads. But if you had that pixel, you pay somebody $500 that does, like, say email marketing or social media marketing, and say, hey, here's $50, maybe $50, $100, set up a pixel on my website. And then you just gathering all that information. And it's going to look up their IP address. And so now whenever you do start running ads, and I've never had to do it, honestly, I've just been adding value and adding game. I'm blessed. I probably should to run the ticket up even more. But I'm not even really trying to travel like that, like I used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like August was a $200,000 month. You know what I'm saying? Just from speaking and saving lives. You feel me? And so
$200,000 in August from speaking.
And the pandemic wasn't bad, bro. The fact that I can go downstairs, you know what I'm saying, and cut the lights on and cut my little HD camera on Zoom.
You talking about virtual?
Yeah, bonkers. Yeah.
I mean, $200K from your crib virtually.
So this next year gonna be crazy, but hopefully I can be in person. I'm looking forward to jumping back on that plane a little bit. I like being in front of the people, but to go downstairs and have my t-shirt up top and basketball shorts with my slides and just be like waxing, like ain't nothing. And then I could go upstairs and go swimming with the kids. Like, man, ain't nothing like that. And that's the biggest thing people say when they sign up or they about to. They be like, but can I really? I'm like, yes, people need motivation during the pandemic. What? Yes, people need motivation during the pandemic. And so anyway, I don't want to get too far into that because I could brag on my students all day long. But that's what I would say do. If somebody hits Chicago, you put that together, you target all those people, and you sit back and watch it. And if they don't come, after you send that second or third email, then you go to Krispy Kreme. You bust them upside the head with a dozen donuts. You tape your business card to that sucker and say, hey, I'm David. Just wanted to let you know I'm a local motivational speaker and just wanted to let you know if you guys ever need me, check this out. And I come bearing gifts. And you laugh and they gonna laugh and you find out that gatekeeper's name. You know what I'm saying? You find out what she into. Them gatekeepers, bro, them gatekeepers has made us a lot of money. Them little office assistants that be in there, you know what I'm saying, at the front door, like people think like, oh, they probably just get paid at the little $30,000. I'm looking at them like, yeah, they about to give me $30,000, $40,000. Yeah.
Okay, so the uncomfortable part is when they do reply, and then we got to start talking about money.
Yep.
I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
I want to do it, but I'm uncomfortable. Yeah. So I let's say people, they do reply. What do we do now?
So I set up a call. I instruct my people never ever get on the phone with them. I mean, never ever respond to talk numbers via email. I lost a gig one time for $7,000. It was going to be a quick hour joint locally too. And I think my budget at that time, but the price was $8,000. And Ebony sent them $8,000. And they never got back where it was crickets. They were so excited. They were pumped up about me. And when she sent them that price, it was crickets. But what happened is she got the email, $8,000, went back to her director. And the director was like, our budget's only $7,000. So let's go with this guy, Joe Blow. And he was only asking for $4,500. And so a month or two later, they got back with Ebony and said, hey, Ebony, the event was cool. The speaker that we booked wasn't as good as Jeremy, but maybe we can budget Jeremy next year. Is his price going to stay the same? I imagine it might increase. I want to pencil it in. So Ebony was like, what happened? I was trying to contact you. She's like, when I saw it was $8,000, I just knew it wasn't going to work. And my director wanted to go with someone else. So Ebony was like, well, if you don't mind me asking, what was the budget? She's like, it was only $7,000. Ebony was like, ma'am, we would have definitely.
Oh, so in the email, y'all wrote $8,000.
Right.
Their budget was $7,000.
Right.
And that $1,000.
And they never responded because she got with the director. The director, let's go with this person. And she just forgot to follow up.
$4,500.
But had we been on the phone and homegirl, I'm going to give y'all some more game now. I don't mind because I got so much in the course. I can't give it all.
Let's go.
So I tell people all the time, get them on the phone because if you hear that tone, because some people will say, charge your worth and then add tax. I used to say that quote, and it's a cute quote. I get it. You deserve it, right? But there are some reasons why some people will see a Louis Vuitton purse and be like, I ain't paying $2,700 for that. But somebody else would be like, I'll pay for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like, you got to be willing to walk away from it, but you also got to be willing to be flexible. Yeah. And when you first starting off, I tell people, eat everything you can get. If you get 25 gigs and they only willing to pay you $1,000, like, man, look, that's 25 grand. That's more by changing lives and adding value and being a blessing to people. You can't even put a dollar amount on that. And so that's why I always say to get them on the phone. That way you can hear their hesitation. Or they might, man, Ebony they'd be like, oh, really? 15? Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, man, well, what budget did you have? Sure. We was prepared to pay $25,000. And so Ebony's just like, so now there are some things that we have in place to know what it is that they have in store for us. So that's why I tell people.
What are the things you have in place, Jeremy? You know I'm going to ask the question. You threw that one off the class. What do you have in place?
I actually did. I thought you was a little farther behind. I thought I could lay it up. Actually. So let me get back to the other point, right?
Okay.
And if you remember, I'll double back. We'll see. So that's why I tell people, never give numbers via email. Mm-hmm. Always do it over the phone so that you can have that dialogue. Because if you hear that hesitation, and then we go from there in Ebony's classic line. Because I believe you can't be God-given. Ebony's classic line is, look, we don't want budget to be the reason that Jeremy doesn't come. So if this budget,
whoa.
Yeah.
We don't want budget to be the reason
that Jeremy doesn't come.
Gotcha.
Because if she hears hesitation in their voice and they're thinking like, man, we can't afford $12,000 or, whatever price she gives them, then I don't want them thinking like, you know what I'm saying, like it's a done deal. So Ebony's like, hey, look, I can hear it in your voice to lighten the load. I had to train her on that because at first it used to be, that silence used to get real awkward. Mm. And I'm like, don't you vote. Don't you bend. You let them crickets crick in. Hello, Miss Clarkston, are you there? Yeah, Ebony, I'm just here, just trying to figure out how we're going to make it happen. Well, we're committed to serving your school, which we are. Yeah. And then, we go from there. So I always tell people, have that conversation over the phone as opposed to via email, because when we lost that one gig, I'd have been happy to take $7,000, bro, and speak for an hour. I cannot think of any other profession that pays you, emotionally, that's so rewarding to do that, but also can pay you financially so quick. Other people's, now, I wouldn't say courses or programs, but things that they do is you have to do so many different things to get it. But once you have a system in place, which we help you set up, it's smooth. It's just you put this thing out there and you speak for 45 minutes and on the low end, $2,500. That's the crazy thing. The average fee of a school speaker is $2,500 and $5,000. So now when our Facebook group is flooded with people sending screenshots. Ain't nobody in there. Let me tell you something. The average motivational speaker Facebook group, you probably think people be posting videos of them speaking. Nah, bro. We post a screenshot. I just got $3,500. Let's go. I just got $8,000. Let's go. I'm like, how many times you speaking? Twice. I'm like, man, that's a beautiful thing. To speak 2 times and make a quick $8,500. You know what I'm saying? It's possible, but you got to have the systems in place. And as we know, systems stand for saving yourself some time, energy, and money. Yeah, so within our group of friends, that's one thing we know. And people are lacking systems. And I think when we have those systems in place and we can speak the information and knowledge that we have that can bless other people, that can help them have systems in place so that they can win in life.
Yo, you know how many people I've, you start talking, because I do get speaking gigs. Don't get it twisted. I do get gigs. For sure. But I've had so many people that bring me the next year and they're like, oh, the first guy was terrible. Which means there's a lot of people out here that are getting money from speaking that aren't even
right.
They're not super deep. They're not super, just. I did this conference one time. I wasn't the main keynote, but I was I had to do the breakout rooms. It was for students,
right.
And I went to this joint 2 or 3 years in a row. And every year, so the keynote gets paid. Everybody else is volunteer.
Right.
every time, bro, I'm sitting in the back looking at the keynote. And maybe it's just
Right,
me
right.
being in the industry and maybe comparing him to me or whatever, her to me. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Then I look around the room and the kids is either on their phone or they talking. And I'm like, he got the bag,
He got the bag, though.
And it wasn't based off his talent.
Yes,
Let's go.
It's based off his systems. So I'm going to give your people 4 or 5 things that 40% of my speaking engagements, we got the data, bro, are repeat clients.
40%?
40%. Imagine if we start running like some ads on speaking. Yeah. So this is what we do. Before every gig, and I hope they take notes. I hope y'all taking notes, right? Okay. Yeah, so the first thing you got to do is when you're speaking, you have a conversation with them on the front end. How can I add the most value? Why did you choose me over other speakers? Like, what are some of the pain points that you and your organization are dealing with? Get the game. Then when you speak, I always like to carve out a half an hour to an hour just to sit with them, take pictures with the kids or the teachers. They just want that connection. And that means a lot for the people who are booking you. Because they start paying 15, 20 grand, 10 grand. They start thinking, oh, he might be Hollywood. When I get to the school, they're like, Mr. Jeremy, we have your room prepared. I'm thinking like, it ain't even that deep. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when you take that time with them, bro, that makes them feel like, yo, he one of the coolest cats you'll ever meet. Then I do a follow-up call. And I'm like, is there anything else I can do? Want me to send a reminder video? Thank you video.
I'm taking an L right there. I'm taking losses right there.
Okay.
I don't do the follow-up call.
Oh, yeah. And then we asked 2 questions. Ebony asked, did Jeremy exceed your expectations or did he meet your expectations? Bro, if an organization says Jeremy was amazing, he met our expectations, I'm hurt. I'm trying to exceed, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back on the phone. Like, what could I have done to have exceeded it? And most of the time they say, oh, we didn't even realize you did exceed it. But I want to have that conversation so they know I'm committed to adding the most value possible. And then we send them a gift.
I'm taking an L right there, too.
Yeah.
Send no gifts.
You'd be surprised, bro, how far a $100 edible arrangement would go. With little pineapples and strawberries dipped in chocolate. Or like Shannon and Shirley Austin, my homies, they got like the cupcakery. I send like a dozen of those little cupcakes and the dry ice to ship all over the country in 2 days. And then a card that says, we hope these treats are as sweet as Jeremy's presentation.
Let's go.
We hope these treats are as sweet as Jeremy's presentation and they lose their mind. And I'm intentional. If I speak on Monday, nothing on Tuesday. Everybody talking about me on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going to do a follow-up call. Then Thursday, boom, them treats drop. And it blows their mind. And then I don't have to ask for referrals, bro. They doing it themselves. Whole district, whole organization talking about it. And then I send them a holiday card at the end of the year.
You're running this like a business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then the holiday card, it's not from the Jeremy Anderson group. No. It's from me and bro, you're going to see my wife, my daughter. You're going to see my son. You're going to see us smiling. You know what I'm saying? Saying, man, season's greetings, happy holidays from my family because it's connection. Like we building, it's relationships. But you know when the pandemic hit, I had one principal in Kentucky hit Ebony and was like, hey, Ebony, we got $5,000. What y'all want to do? Ebony was like, what you mean? She's like, I looked at my budget. I got some extra money. You know I only want to spend with you, girl. We ain't had to do nothing for her. I got on the phone with her staff for 30 minutes and just told them we going to get through COVID. And then a quick $5,000 because they want to do it. Why? Because I done hit you with a Christmas card, a holiday card. I done hit you with an edible arrangement, a fruit basket. I done followed back up with you when I was there. I went above and beyond with your people. You ain't going to find another lover like me. I mean, you ain't going to find another speaker like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to love you so much that you can't go nowhere. I might not even be the best doggone speaker, but I done did all those extra things. You ain't going nowhere. I got you on lockdown.
Golly.
Yep.
I see. It's clicking now.
Okay.
Why you make the money that you make from speaking?
Yeah, it's a blessing.
And how if you're teaching the principles and how because I got some clients that are in your course and they get into it.
Yeah.
And now I see it's not just how to speak good. It's that system.
All of that, bro. It's how to put together your message, how to brand the marketer, how to connect with the people. And the people in our community, we connect them with the graphic designers, the people who do my website, the people who edit my videos. Like, they get full access to, like, you in my tribe. You represent me. I can't call it Next Level Speakers Academy and I'm on some average stuff. Yeah. So when we on the calls, we be going in. It's a family, bro. Like when Brian passed, man, we had one of our Sunday calls, bro. They had like a whole plaque trophy for me. Had me in tears, bro. I thought I was tired. I thought I was done crying. Like, they messed me up, bro. They was like, yo, you have served us. You've been a shepherd to us. Like, this the least we can do for you. We loving for you. They was like, they told me, they said, you thought that this Sunday call was going to be you pouring into us, but we want to pour back into you. Bro, I was done for, bro. Eyes red the whole time. I'm thinking like, what in the world? Yeah. Cry right there. Like, we got a family. You know what I'm saying? So we put these things in place because I want to see them win. Because I feel like, bro, it's 132,000 schools in America. Now, everybody in our community is not on schools, by the way.
Come back a little bit.
Everybody in our community is not speaking in schools.
Mm-hmm.
I probably say 70% in the educational space. The other 30% is like in the sports field, maybe some corporate, maybe some what you call it, like faith-based, like that type of thing. But the folks in our community are like really getting results and they're really growing. But I feel like if it's 132,000 schools, I can't even hit 1%. That's 1,300. I done been to a lot of schools. I ain't been to 1,300 schools yet. You feel me? So I can only do so much. So if I'm really serious about making an impact, if I'm really serious about bearing fruit and helping to change the world, then I feel like I got an opportunity now through the Speakers Academy. Bro, you know how many basketball players and NFL players, cats when we was touring with E.T. and Inky and we was traveling the country, would slide in my DM, say, bro, can you coach me? I ain't never have time. I was like, but now we put something together.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch on it, man. Brian passed, man, it was crazy to me. We were just at the speaker conference that you put together, and Brian was there, and he sponsored it, right? Yep. Which I believe because you poured so much into him, right? Because you took him on tour. How did y'all two meet, man?
So I've known Brian since high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Brian was doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? He got deeper in the dope game than I did. Because when I got out, I was like, yo, I'm going to hit the reset button, give my life to God, boom, boom, boom. Like, he was still living that life. And when he got jammed up, he had an experience where he felt like God was trying to get his attention. I was in Bermuda speaking. And, you know, in Bermuda, like, sometimes you miss the call. So I got a voicemail. He's like, hey, bro, it's my time. Well, holler at me. It's my time. I need to get it. And so I hit him. He was like, yo, I'm ready to hit the reset button. When I got back in the States, I was there. He got baptized, and I watched him. I watched him for about 6 months. He was going to group homes. He was going to different schools, just volunteering, speaking. He was knocking on doors like a Bible worker for the community, like the local church. Like, he was really like, I thought he was serious. He was really about that life. And then when I launched the Grace Tour, I invited him.
2016?
14. Somewhere around there, 14, 15. Okay. I know it, yeah. And he traveled with me for 3 years. We was in our Sprinter van, traveled all over the country, man. That boy was on some major stages, speaking to every type of school, church you can imagine. And he tragically, he passed in a tragic car accident, you know what I'm saying, about 3 weeks ago. And that thing hit all of us, you know what I'm saying, because he got jammed up with his court case, had to sit down for about 3 years, was on work release. And when he was finally out, he was able to really speak. And for about 10 months to make an impact. And he just went all in. Mm-hmm. And then 10 months from being released, you know what I'm saying, him and his wife was about to close on their first house. Like, that thing knocked the wind out of us. And but we on the other side now, it still hurts. It's funny, but I was just telling his wife, Sophie, I was like, man, whenever I go through my phone, like, I got more pictures of him on my phone than, you know what I'm saying, than anybody else. And so that thing still stings. But we went through the mourning. We still mourning. You know what I'm saying? There are still times when that thing hits me. Yeah. My life will never be the same again. But that's why I have to take advantage of every opportunity. Yeah. That's why I catch myself saying, I'll catch you next time. I'm like, let me pick up the phone and let you know how special you are now. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of tired, but now, come on and pull up now. I want to see you now because tomorrow not promised. Yeah. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They put their dreams on hold. They put what they're going to do tomorrow on hold. You know what I'm saying? They put their purpose on hold. They're like, I'm going to figure this out one day when it's convenient. Ain't nothing convenient about quitting your job. Yeah. Ain't nothing convenient about going all in. Ain't nothing convenient about walking away from a full-time job, career, salary, healthcare, benefits, 401k. Ain't nothing convenient about that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that you got to do if you want to go to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I want to quit or I want to complain, I have to catch myself and say, man, what would Brian do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a few gigs I was going to cancel after like the first week or two after he passed. But I was like, man, Brian would be pissed. Boy, he would be turning over in his grave. Yeah. He's like, man, if you don't get out here and go do what you've been called to do, go do what I can't do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So to everybody that's listening, like, if you got breath in your lungs and you listen to us right now, I cannot stress the urgency of like now, no opportunity wasted, like now going all in, giving it your all now. You know what I'm saying? Because the world needs what you have to offer.
He was definitely walking in your shoes too. Because one of my most popular videos is actually on YouTube. I went to a school and I taught the kids, I forgot. So it's like about $10,000, something like that. But he actually booked me to come to the school in Huntsville. So I drove in the car from Atlanta to Huntsville because Brian booked me to, it was that school and like 2 other schools.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, tell me what you want. I didn't even know how to charge. I'm like, yo, just whatever. You know what I mean? But he was like, yo, I love what you're doing. And he booked me. And that's, ever since that, we really just got closer. Like when he's going in and out of jail, like we talk and he called me. He was it was a work release. He was working at some sandwich spot or something like that.
Yeah.
So it'll hit me like in
But he excelled in every field.
Yeah, they wanted him to stay working there, right?
My man was at the car wash. And next thing I know, I'm like, bro, how you the manager of the car wash? You on work release. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then he was working at Moe's. And the general manager was like, bro, I'm about to train you up to be right up under me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then he went to the car dealership and was the top salesman while he was on work release.
Yeah.
He would have to tell the management and the owners, like, yo, that little weekly meetings, like, yo, don't even drop the numbers because folks hating on me. I'm like, nah, bump that. Like, they go home to their wife and kids every day. They can shower in their showers and sleep in their beds, but they come in here being average. You phenomenal. You ain't taking nothing for granted. Like, you got to go to jail at the end of your shift. They taking 90% of your doggone check, but you still the number one salesman? People talk about a motivation all the time. What happens when motivation runs out? That's when dedication kicks in. That's when discipline kicks in. Man, Brian was different, man. Rest in peace to my brother, man. I love him, man.
I definitely had different in this interview, man. I think that's probably why we had to shoot it over, because definitely got to honor Brian, man.
And one more thing, bro. When he got out of jail, how he buy his wife a brand new car? Big old Volkswagen SUV. That thing fired too, fully loaded. I'm like, boy, how? This folks is not even locked up, and they can't buy their wife a brand new car. How you do that when they taking 90% of your earnings? Different, bro. Different. So I wish I would tone down. I wish I would be average. I'd be on my team head. I told all my team, I said, y'all think I'm a high D now? I'm a 145 D now. I'm going all in. I said, because he ain't here now. I'm going all in. I don't expect no average. I'm allergic to average, bro. I be catching calls. I be breaking out to the hives. Like, did I get the Rona? Oh, you average. That's why. I was wondering why I started sneezing. You feel me? Like, I can't do it, bro. You know, so I'm trying to be excellent in everything I do. Can I share one more piece real quick?
Please.
Just on the speaking thing, right? And this is for anybody. This ain't even just the course. This ain't just our community speaking. You might be like, I hate public speaking. I'm afraid of it. That's fine. I just want to talk about the importance of like seizing the opportunities and going all in. I spoke for this conference here in Atlanta. True story, right? I was supposed to speak for this event in Cali. And the superintendent's like, bro, we need you. And I was like, how bad you need me? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, so they changed my flight. They paid for my first class flight. I flew out a little later. Cali was a little lenient. And I was like, it's going to be tight with my flight. My man was like, I'll make sure a police escorts you there. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll work with their budget because they hometown homeboy. So they got $7,000. They gave me a police escort to the airport. I flew off. So I get back in town. A few months later, I get interviewed by this guy. I don't want to name his name, but he's known in the city. He got a really dope podcast. He was like, yo, Jay, I was in the audience when you were speaking, and I was feeling a certain type of way. I said, really? Now, this is live, like on this podcast. He's like, yeah, because they always bring in people who were never educators to talk to educators. And he's like, you killed it. People was in there laughing and crying. I stood up and applauded you too. So I'm not hating, but I'm just wondering, how come they ain't give me the opportunity? He's like, they already don't pay me what I'm worth. How come they ain't give me that $7,000? I want a police escort. I was like, how you feel about it? He was like, I'm not happy. How come they ain't give me the opportunity? I said, bro, they ain't give you the opportunity because you ain't give yourself that opportunity. I said, how they gonna take your CV? You don't take it. I said, what's your website? Let me see your logo. Let me see your business card. Or you ain't got nothing? You ain't even update your social media? But they supposed to just know that you got something to share. I said, you like the dog that's on the porch wondering why I'm walking down the street wagging my tail with my tongue hanging out. Because I jumped off the porch. I said, bro, in this world, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you work for. You can't cut corners to greatness. You don't go to that next level without investing, without going all in. And I said, that's the problem with people. People be looking and say, oh, man, he got a new Bugatti. Oh, man, she got a new wife. Oh, man, they just built a new house. You have no clue what they had to go through. What type of investments? They had to live below their means. They had to have a savings. You know what I'm saying? They had to get a credit repair company. Like, you have no clue how many times their heart got broke before they finally found someone that would love them and put a ring on it. Like, you have no clue what they had to do to get what they have. And so sometimes so many people sit back and look at everybody else pointing and seeing what they're doing. You know what my favorite commercial is? It's the E-Trade commercial. With the little blonde chick that's like in the little pool with the little swan. And she's like doing stocks, living her best life. And that thing says, don't get mad, get E-Trade. You ever seen that commercial? They telling her, like, don't be mad at the lifestyle she's living. Do what she did to get there. Like, success leaves clues, but a lot of people don't want to go all in and do that. And so to whoever you are, you got to be willing to make whatever sacrifices necessary so that your dreams come true. Don't be mad at people who don't believe in your dream. It's not their dream. Right. They're not supposed to believe in the dream. It's your dream.
Right.
You believe in it. You put the work in, and that dream will become a reality. People don't buy dreams, but they do buy realities.
Okay, I gotta tell my story on how I felt away.
Come on.
So we're I think it's around the time we were on tour, and this lady, I'm on social media. So this lady she sent me a DM. She said, "Yo, man, I just love what you're doing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man." And she's like, "Yo, I just connected with Jeremy Anderson. You had posted him one day." And I said, "Yeah, nah, he's dope." She said, "What happened was," she's like, she was looking online for a speaker, and she like came across my website, and somehow she came to my social media and she connected with you and booked you to speak.
Okay. Appreciate that, bro.
I felt the way. She's looking for a speaker, but then and I'm a speaker. This is a time I'm calling myself a speaker. Like I'm getting gigs and stuff.
How much I owe you for that?
You owe me a couple. I don't know whatever she paid you. I don't remember. She told me. She was like, "Yeah, I was looking for a speaker. I was on your website." And she didn't, I don't know. She just slipped up and said it. Like,
right.
She's like, "Yeah, I was looking for a speaker. I was on your website and you kind of led me to Jeremy, and Jeremy came and spoke and it was amazing." I was like, "Oh, that's what's up." Closed my phone. I said, "Yo, did Jeremy?" And then I went on your website. I'm like, "What his website got it? I ain't got." And then, I felt the way because she was looking for a speaker. Bro. But now, when you say it right now, I didn't have a system. Like, you got a system.
Right.
You probably had the pixel on your website. Right. You probably can see somebody coming. It's probably speaking directly to our audience. So I shouldn't have got mad. I should have got E-Trade.
No doubt. For sure.
I should have got E-Trade. All right, so, because you thought I forgot. What's the system on figuring out how to find a budget? Y'all thought I forgot. I did not forget.
Y'all must have forgot.
I did. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I was trying to control the conversation. No, I don't mind giving it. I don't mind giving it. So this is what I tell a lot of people, right? When they go to the website, you have an order form. You have the name, information, stuff like that. But when you put estimated budget of speaker, like, bro, when you put that there, you let them tell you what they're willing to pay. If they come in lower, if they come in and say, "Hey, my budget is, $1,500, but your starting price is $2,500, then you get on the phone. "Hey, I see your budget is $1,500. My starting price is actually $2,500. How can we make this happen?" You know what I'm saying? And then you put the ball in their court. Oh, and sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I really didn't know what to put. $2,500 is totally fine." Or they might say, "You know what? We're strapped. We're Title I school. We just don't have the funds." Then you have an opportunity. But that right there, literally, bro, changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I was going to do really well. I kind of prided myself, like, I'm making doctor money. Like, one of my best friends is a doctor. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He making $120,000. I'm like, I'm making doctor money per year.
Yes, sir.
But when I did that, I looked up in year 2, year 3. I was like, yo, I'm making doctor money every month. I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Because when they start saying I got $8,000 or I got $15,000, I was just like, ooh. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you the picture if I can find it. It's probably at the very top. My very first $25,000 speaking engagement. I took a picture and sent it to ET and CJ. I was in the truck in tears. I was like, "Yo, this school actually paid me $25,000. I'm about to fly back to Atlanta and head home." Like, it blew my mind because I didn't think that something like that was possible. And then they doubled back and brought me back the next year and raised the price. Because I added so much value, you know what I'm saying? They raised the price to $30,000 that next year. Yeah, it's bonkers, bro. Yeah, it's bonkers. And so check that out right there. I'm glad I found it.
Next level.
Yep. They sent the 20%. They sent the 20% deposit of $5,000 up front and dropped me that right there. Now I only shared that not to brag, right? But to let people know what's possible.
Yeah, because you don't live at this address no more.
Right. Yeah. And because of the speaking, you know what I'm saying? You got a different address.
First off, my man got 2 backyards. If you ever seen it on my story, Jeremy got 2 backyards, bro. I'm in the backyard with the pool. First off, it looked like, you go to a hotel, it's like the pool, and then it's like the chairs around it. This is in his backyard. And I look next door, I look like there's like a wall, and then you can see down. And I look down, I'm like, dang, your neighbor's got a big backyard too. And then I realized it's still attached to the same backyard. I said, God, it's like a football field. That joint's crazy.
We blessed, man.
Yeah.
God is good, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, man, I know tomorrow's today is what, Tracy's birthday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Tracy's birthday, and you gotta go. But this was This was super valuable, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad.
This is super valuable.
Yeah, I'm glad.
All right, so I got two things.
And you hit me off the phone too, because whatever I can do to help you, you just hit my phone, bro.
Yeah, because I need that.
I'm happy. 7,400, I like that.
Where else can you go into an auditorium for 20 minutes, an hour? Like, where can you go and speak without having to stretch, without having to be number one in the country and shooting?
I mean, even like an attorney, you got to do all this research, you got to do all this writing, and it's a lot. I can't think of any other profession. Let's just take out the fact that you're saving lives. Yeah. I want to tell you about that one kid with the weed in school, but I don't know if we have time for it. But let's just take out the idea of...
It's up to you.
Okay, so let me share this story. But don't forget to come back to this, though. Are you going to forget?
Well, that's what I do.
All right,
I'm a professional.
So let me just... the bag is good. Matter of fact, let me stop playing. The bag is great. Like, the bag is phenomenal. It's life-changing, right? And that allows us to be able to feed the kids in South Africa. We put 40 kids in college. Like, it allows us to be a blessing to more people. But man, it's these type of stories right here I could talk about all day. I went to one school. I was either in Memphis or on the south side of Chicago. I can't remember what city, but I'll go in, I do my thing, struggling, heavy drugs in the school, folks getting stabbed. Like, it's one of them type of schools. I pour my heart out, bro. I'm sweating. I speak for an hour. They walk out of the gym. I probably spend another 45 minutes high-fiving, dapping up the kids, you know what I'm saying, praying with them on the slide. Like, whatever they need, I bail myself. I walk out the school. I got my book bag. I see one dude in the hallway. He's like, yo, that's some real I was like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, for real, bro. That touched me. I was like, that's what's up. I said, what's your name? He told me his name. He's like, yo, bro, you changed my life today. And I hear it all the time. And I never take it for granted. But I was like, that's what's up, man. He's like, nah, for real, I want to show you something. So I walk with him, and he go to the bathroom. And so he was like, yo, come here, I'm going to show you something. I'm thinking like...
to the bathroom? I got to show you something?
I'm thinking like, bro, this is so weird. So I like walk to like close to the bathroom door, but I'm still in the hallway. Right. So he go to the stall. He's like, yo, come here. I don't want nobody to see this. And so he like pull up his shirt and his pants. I'm like, bro, what you on, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, just like that, like, bro, what you on? So my man pulls out a half a pound of weed and was in tears. And he was just like, yo, I thought this is all I could do. I thought this is all I was worth. All my uncles, my dad, like, this is all I know. He's like, but you showed me something different. And as he's talking, he's stuffing it down the toilet and then tries to flush it. The toilet's about to overflow. I'm trying to scrape up the weed before somebody come in. Like, the most dodo but heart, like, amazing experience ever, bro. And my man was like, yo, I'm changing my life today, starting today. And he was just like, thank you so much. Like, that stuff right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put a dollar amount on that. Like, that stuff right there, I'm like, man, if that don't move you to say, you know what, I got something inside me I want to share, or whatever you do, like, everybody's purpose is different. Some people that might not be speaking, but like that right there, that's what makes it worthwhile. Wow. Yeah, bro. Wow. Yeah, I got some stories, but that's one of my favorites because I remember like he was sloppy with the weed and it was everywhere. And I'm like, yo, somebody come in here, I'm gonna be in the news. You know what I'm saying? About a local motivational speaker, brings drugs to school.
Wow. So, yeah. Amazing. So, yeah, you're right. What you were saying, like, I don't think there's another career where you can just...
Yeah, do that. So that's why I was saying, even if you take out the impact, I can't think of anything else where you, on the low end, $2,500. On the low end, the average price is $2,500. I ain't charged that in $2,500 to $5,000. I ain't charged that in a long time, right? Mm-hmm. So being that that's the low end, like, to get that really quickly. Like, one of my guys, Chris, I don't know if he would mind me sharing, but bro, he gonna do $200,000 this year. Yeah. One of my guys, Sin, he got,
How'd you meet him? Before he was $200,000, before that, where was he?
He $1,500. I got a video I can show you right now on my phone. I don't know if you can mix in the podcast. My man said, bro, you changed my life. He got his first $10,000 speaking engagement.
No, when did you connect with him when he was making what, $1,500?
Yeah, he couldn't get past that $1,500 mark. And so when I showed my video to my wife, was like, oh, boo, that's cool. I was like, he a little extra. She's like, don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it seem like $10,000, like when our first $10,000 check, like, don't act like you wasn't in tears. I said, oh, you're right. She's like, don't, you know what I'm saying? She's like, don't be acting break. Because I was like, boo, he kind of extra. Like, you talking about I changed his life. She's like, nah, bro. My man was getting $1,500. He just spoke for an hour virtually and got $10,000. So she was like, yo, own that. I was like, come on then, girl. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for real, and everybody not getting that. I got some people getting $1,500, $2,500, $4,000. It's all over the place, right? But the fact that you can do that virtually or in person and change lives ain't nothing like it. So
I worked 40 hours a week to make $3,000 a month.
Oh, yeah,
at the Cheesecake Factory.
And so you see why when you first asked about the price, I even feel weird sharing it. Because all my partners, Marcus, like Neo, Josh, like all the homies is like, bro, your course is like, it need to be $5,000 for everything that you're doing. And they got access to you. And they coming on the
don't
calls.
let Neo pressure you, because he be pressuring me, bro. Every time I talk to him, I'm not charging enough. Like, I'm like, yo, bro.
Every time. And I be hearing it. But when people in my community was like, yeah, I would have paid $5,000 for this. I would have paid more. That's why when you first asked how much, and I was like, it's $2,000, and you was like, can we get a discount? That's why I was slightly hesitant, because it was just like, because I'm on camera too.
Right.
A pressure.
You know what? Yo, listen, if you go
but I love it though. I'm not gonna renege.
For sure. No. But let's just check this out. Because if things change, we don't know how this joint is gonna be on for 10 years, right?
Right.
So if it changes, just promise me it will be a discount under what you normally charge.
Yes, for sure.
Next level speakersacademy.com.
Yeah.
And to do / social proof?
Social proof. Yeah, that's it. I text it to the squad too. So
okay, I'll put it in a link here too. So,
but that's why I was hesitant, because it's just like the value we add. And somebody get 1 gig and it pays for itself. But I get it. We building.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
This is good for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
all right, cool. I got to do a quick commercial real quick.
Yep.
And just think of something to close this out with. Mm-hmm. All right. So, first, this episode is sponsored as always by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com, the only community, only organization that gathers every single day to help entrepreneurs grow, man. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, every day we're there. And I'm on that joint every day. I love it. You talk about impact. The fact, your
level of commitment, I ain't gonna front. I talked to Trace, I was like, boo, I don't know how he do it. I thought you was gonna have somebody on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you was gonna do like Shan's, like Sunday, like one of the days, but to know that you on every day.
Yeah, but I have guests on there, but I'll be
you're still there.
Yeah, so if I bring you on, I'm gonna be there too. We just gonna have a conversation.
That's different.
You know what it's like though? It's like someone who absolutely loves hooping and they go hoop every day. Some people look at like, yo, why do you put yourself through that? Like, yo, you ain't gotta, come on, you trying to go to the league? No, I love the hoop.
Yeah.
If I didn't hoop every day, I'd be upset and frustrated because it's what I love to do. You know what I mean? So what other people look at as work, it's like I would be depriving myself.
So it's not like you got to. I get to.
I get to
come on. I catch myself sometimes saying, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go to Vancouver.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get to go to Vancouver and speak.
Yeah. So the thing is, your program could be $10,000, but at $10,000, you'll have less people, but you'll make more money. So the way like you're opening up the gate, like you get to go, like when you see the testimonials, like obviously the more you charge, you do $100,000 for a program,
right.
You'll make way more money. And the people are those that can invest that money.
Right.
But you're not going to have testimony after testimony after testimony.
Right.
You're not going to see that many, right? So people are going to tell you, yo, you need to charge more. But it's like, some people like I get where you're at. Like it's the love of it.
It's the love of it. And so the fact that you get on every day, it shows like where you are in your heart to do that. Because you could have been like, hey, we're gonna do a morning meetup on Mondays. It could have been Monday morning meetup. Yeah. But you're like, nah, Monday through Friday, like I'm committed to you helping you do this entrepreneurship thing. You know, my sister signed up for it.
Yeah, really?
Oh, she fanned out, bro. You and Donnie, she felt like, oh my God. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do something really special for y'all. If you want to try it out, just for $1, okay? Jeremy giving discounts. I'm gonna give you a discount too. So just try it out for $1. First 7 days, just to see if you like it. If you like it, great. You can stay. It's $79 a month. If you don't like it, you could just leave. And you just stole.
What is the average? $5 a day?
It's
Not
like
even
$3.
That. Come on.
It's like $3 something.
Yeah, come on.
So, you know, I always give the invitation because I feel like the community, and it's literally hundreds of people. Yeah. Hundreds of people on the call every single day. So make sure you go to themorningmeetup.com. We also got a Patreon if you want to show love to your favorite podcast. Just go to patreon.com / David Never Sleeps, Javon. Yep. / David Never Sleeps. Make sure you go check that out. And you can get like unreleased stuff. And hold on, Jeremy, I'm almost done. Okay. I'm doing commercials. You got to pay the bills.
I love it.
Oh, dang. I don't got my phone number. I don't know it. You know it? You know my number? Hold on, y'all can text me. I do pick up this phone too. I actually text. Oh, I got it. 404-737-4935. Make sure you text me. Yeah, make sure you text me. All right, cool. And we're right back. Jeremy.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Thank you. Yo, real quick, and I know you got to go. We're going to close this out. but can I get like a 5-minute conversation for my Patreon members?
Okay.
So Patreon is like people, it's like unreleased stuff. So everybody gets this, but you got like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Real quick.
Okay.
We'll make it quick. Okay, let's close it out. All right, so Jeremy, let everybody know how to find you, man. Again, thank you. Thank you. Not only just the podcast, but your mentorship to me, your tutelage, just being who you are. There's nothing that you have that I would think, yo, would Jeremy help me out with that? It just doesn't happen. If you ever need me for your calls or anything like that, please, I am a servant. Anytime you have a
Sharice
gig,
will be reaching out to you. I'm glad you said that.
You know your conferences, I am there, man. It's all love. So let us know how they can find you and close this out, man.
Yeah, at one Jeremy Anderson. Yeah, at one Jeremy Anderson on all the social media platforms. I'm pretty easy to find. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want me to give you this point now, or is this last thought for the Patreon?
Right now, to close out for the world.
Okay.
We're gonna cut the cameras, then we'll come on for the Patreon.
Okay, bet.
Just close this out, man. There's somebody out there that is struggling, man. Yeah. Or they're like super gifted, but they can't get their gift to the world, which is frustrating. Right? It's like being pregnant for a long time. You just can't have the baby.
Yeah.
Imagine being pregnant for 3 years. So I guess maybe close this out.
Okay.
With
so let's run with that analogy. Let me see what I can pull off in the spirit of the top of my dome. So let's say somebody is pregnant, like with purpose or something, right? And they feeling the contractions, they're feeling the pain of what they got going on. They know they have something special inside them, but they're having a hard time pushing it out. And like it's in these moments when you got to get with a midwife. Or you got to get with the OBGYN. They might have to have you walk. They might have to have you do some squats. You know what I'm saying? They might have to perform some different things. They might have to do a C-section. You know what I'm saying? But what you have inside from you, you didn't put there. It was naturally given to you, but you need help to give birth to it, right? And so that's why people get coaches. I've got a mentor in every single company we own. I have a mentor. And that's where people go wrong. I have so much purpose. Bro, I just met with CJ yesterday for 2 hours. I sat at his feet. I'm older than CJ, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I said at his feet because I'm like, yo, bro, give me the game. Like, help me understand. I want to learn from you. I pay Alex Burton $10,000 for his his trucking course. You feel me? So people need to invest in themselves wherever they are. If you're trying to have the best marriage, then get some marriage books. Get some marriage coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like Marriage Inc. At Marriage Inc. That's me and Tracy's marriage coaches. Like, I would be divorced. I would not have a wife today if it wasn't for them. Like, if you want to win in finances, then you got to get with somebody in that financial space. Like, you got to be willing to get with a midwife or what do you call it? The OBGYN. Somebody to help you give birth to whatever that thing is. So for the people that feel stuck, you got to get with someone that can unstuck you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. A lot of people feel like they want to do it on their own, or they prideful, or they don't want to make that investment, and they wonder why nothing changed. Well, you got to make a decision, right? And I believe everybody can go to that next level if their belief system is intact. But they got to believe. I was one way in life, and I was there forever because of my specific belief system. But when I changed my brain, I changed my life. It all starts with your brain. What you think is what you say. What you say is what you do. What you do on a regular basis becomes a habit. Your habits create your character, and your character determines your destiny. But it all starts right here inside your brain. I'm going to give it to him again. Can I do it again? Please. What you think is what you say. What you say is what you do. What you do on a regular basis becomes a habit. Be cautious because your habits create your character, and your character determines your destiny. As we learned from our mutual mentor, you know what I'm saying? Like, success will take you there, but your character, your gifts and talents will take you there, but your character will keep you there. But it all starts right here inside the mind. So we got to have a strong belief system. Because I remember when we used in school, you would see the little posters that say, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Bro, that's facts. That was a bar. We thought it was corny. We thought it was cliche, but that's real. That's real. So when I began to believe I could do these type of numbers, when I began to believe I could travel the world, bro, my wife looking for homes down in South Africa. I was like, boo, come on, boo. She's like, oh, you don't believe? I had to check myself like, bro, don't be a hypocrite. Like, do you believe? People got to believe. And so to everybody that's watched us, everybody that's listening right now, like, I need you to believe in that power, that purpose, that potential that's inside you. God has an amazing plan for your life if you believe. What do I look like trying to determine where my life gonna go? I ain't that smart. I ain't that talented. People talk about a 5 to 10 year plan. That makes sense. And it sounds good. But for me, I'm not even smart enough to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, right? That's why I wake up at 5 a.m. and I seek the face of God. Like, what you want me to do? What you think is the best play? And then I run that play. Like, that's how people can go to the next level. So it starts with a belief system, and then you got to put that work in every single day. Because my brother Brian not here no more. And if he was here, he'd be putting that work in. So I felt what I look like feeling tired, what I look like feeling lazy, what I look like talking about what's not comfortable to me. Comfort don't pay bills. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be willing to put that work in every single day. So let's go get it. Let's be great.
Listen, can't close it out no better than that,
Yeah.
man. Do me a favor. Make sure you follow Jeremy Anderson. Okay, shoot him a DM. And I need you to do me a favor. Go get you some social proof, okay? Go build something. Then come back to your community and go teach your community how you did what you did. It is the only way our community can grow, okay? We are out of here. Peace. What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book? Every single chapter, every single day, we're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? Themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.